Think about it. You could have family buried in this old pioneer cemetery. I didn't think I had any relatives here, but I will show you how you can trace your pioneer loved ones and mark the very location where they are buried. Hello everyone. This is my granddaughter, Lily. She's got a little snot nose right now. She's looking good, but she's coming up on 11 months. And I want to tell you about a great-great-grand aunt, Persis Mitchell. And she came through winter quarters.
My great-great-grandfather, his name is Charles Shumway. He was actually the first wagon that started the whole trek west, and he was in that very first company. People look at the pioneers and they wonder what drove them, what their reason for doing this was, and it was because of their faith in God.
So we're at the Mormon Trail Center, and this is where winter quarters is. And this is where the saints stopped for a couple years on their journey to Salt Lake. And in this cemetery is about where 400 saints are buried.
Death was very common here, and a lot of people lost their loved ones, such as children and husbands and wives and siblings. But instead of dwelling on that sadness, they overcame that sadness and they focused on the charity and the love and the faith that they had in the Savior and His gospel.
If you see, there's some markers with flags, and in that area up there is where all the saints are buried.
Our missionaries can walk them over, and they can actually see pretty close to the spot where a family member had given all and had been buried here at winter quarters.
So this is my second cousin, I think 5 times removed. This is my closest relative here at winter quarters. Orphan night, and she was 2 years old. It was right over here that she's buried. It's cool to know exactly where they're buried and to stand over them and say, like, this is where my ancestor is. She's buried right here in this area. They walked here, they talked here, and then their family wept over their grave right here. So it's really cool to know exactly where they are, so you can kind of feel their spirit.
I love this place because of the spirit of place, because of what happened here, what it represents, the pioneers that gave their all.
Even though I don't have, relatives buried here, direct relatives buried here, I still feel connected to them in a way. But we're all still in the same family. We're all brothers and sisters, and we're all God's children. So I feel like an adopted pioneer.
It's a sacred place. Mostly children are buried here. And the sister missionaries give you a wonderful tour if you come. They will also do a virtual tour. It's the latest thing that's been happening. And I didn't think I had anybody here. And I went to Relative Finder done by BYU. And what did I find? Tons. Especially a great aunt who was 11 months old. And it's quite touching. And we paced off where her marker would be, where that spot is.
So this is like the closest marker to her grave, the northwest marker. So
Right around here.
then yeah, she'd be about in this area. This is where Persis is.
How does it feel to know where Persis is buried?
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I don't know, it's, at least you know a spot. And it's being taken care of very well, and it's so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And you are here making it happen so that others can appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
That's really awesome. And if you go onto Relative Finder and put in a group winter quarters, you will find that you may be related to some of these pioneers. That may be 7 cousins removed or whatever, but it's kind of touching to pace off the exact spot where they're buried. And these people never made it to the valley. And I understand that the trees around here all came from Utah. Heber J. Grant, the president of the church at the time, insisted that they bring some Utah spruces here to remind them of the place they didn't make it to from the Salt Lake Valley.
And now you can come back and see her name on this roll of honor. It'll be here. It's been here years before and it'll be here years to come. So it's really neat to be able to see that and even come and share with other relatives.
This is a living Discovery Center, and you can do it online or you can come here in person and have quite an experience of connecting with family.